to rev it up and roll with America's premier motorcycle talk show. Open Road Radio is on the air with Gina Woods and other guest hosts. And now, with riding on their minds, here's your hosts of Open Road Radio.
All right, we are excited tonight that Penny FXR is back in the house. Hey,
it's been a long time.
It has been a long time. We have missed you. Where you been?
I've missed you guys. Oh, like doing all kinds of stuff, just traveling away.
Yeah, you have. So we are just getting on. Sorry, we're running a few minutes late trying to get our first interview lined up here. He was having some problems. In the meantime, Penny and I are bringing you a great show tonight. We've got Wayne Kirkpatrick, chairman at Rolling Thunder, Illinois Chapter 2, who's going to be on with us, talking to us about some veteran events coming up, and especially one that they honor all past vets, the Stand 2 at Woodstock Harley-Davidson. It's a annual favorite, and we're excited for Wayne to join us from Rolling Thunder, as well as
Mr. Fred Harrell. He is the MRF Meeting of the Minds mastermind and all-around great guy.
He is too, and he's a hoot. I'm telling you, Fred is just. I could imagine you guys had a great time. It's finally recap time because you guys did this. What, back in September? Or
did it at the end of September.
End of September. Okay.
Like September 26th, 27th, 28th, something like that. Yeah.
Right. Meeting of the Minds with presented or MRF presented Meeting of the Minds with IMA, the Independent Motorcycle Aftermarket Group.
Yeah.
And we finally get a chance to recap that because that's important to motorcycling. That's really important to motorcycling.
I had no idea, honestly, the impact that it would make on me going to the Meeting of the Minds. And I know we'll talk about that all later. But really, it's very important. People need to do their research and check it out because it's incredibly important, especially right now.
I'm so excited that you are going to recap that with us because I felt the same way when I first went to Meeting of the Minds, and I haven't been to one in a while, but Todd Vandermine used to be our one of our co-hosts on the show for many years, and he was very political, and he fought for motorcycle rights, and he was a Meeting of the Mind guy, and it just brought us great information, and I got to go to several Meeting of the Minds with him. So good stuff. Hey, we want to welcome all of our K-Shop listeners, AM 1400 and 107.1 FM in Viva, Las Vegas. And I got to hear from Justin. He said, when are those girls coming back in the studio? I miss a good live show.
And we'll have to do that soon.
Well, I told him in January I will be there and I will herd them in.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Also, our WPJX 1500 AM and 92.5 FM in Chicago. Please give it a like and give it a share. Thank you all so much. I know that we've been off the air the last couple of weeks. Just a lot of things going on that have been challenges, but we got through them. Some family issues that. Life just happens. That's what happens in life. And we are back with a vengeance, and we're going to bring you a couple of great more shows to our 28th anniversary. Then we got a whole new lineup for you guys, which is going to be spectacular in 2025. God, that's right around the corner.
I know. Everybody's talking about, oh my God, it's November already. Can you believe it's even November?
Yeah, it's crazy. And, up in the Midwest, we just get all these beautiful, we're really experiencing the fall colors. Yes. Well, you're from,
Yeah.
You remember what the fall colors are. We just got to get you back here a little more often.
I know.
And the weather has just been outstanding. So a lot of motorcycle riders, and we just want everyone to be safe while you're still riding out there, especially with so many leaves around. They're slippery when wet. And all that kind of stuff. But we've got good friends like Disparti Law Group. If anything should happen to you, injury motorcycle lawyers. and also our good friends at Andrew's Products. So we have an amazing announcement to make. Actually, I think it's public already. Michael Peterson, the president, called me the other day and said that they have sold Andrew's,
Yes.
but they are going to be on board for the next 2 or 3 years. But we have another exciting thing. They're coming out with some new product that we're going to tell you about in the next couple of weeks here on Open Road Radio. So we will be the first to disclose it.
Good.
And also, what else? We have, of course, our Full Throttle injury lawyers, motorcycle injury lawyers in Las Vegas. So, and our Dazzlin is probably just, she is probably hung over from the high seas rally.
I ran into Magic Mike yesterday at the swap meet, the Vegas car and bike
that's
swap.
right. You did that. Boy, you've been busy.
Yeah, and he comes up on his e-bike, which was really funny. He's got a Zeus that he's customized, of course he has, and because he's a motorcycle builder for those listening, and he was on the cruise, and I'm like, so how did it go? Did you have so much fun? He goes, man, we ruined that ship.
Oh my God. I know, and you and I said we were going to go this year, last year. So next year we do have to go. And unfortunately, I've just been not doing not as much as I would be doing. So I'm getting geared up for 2025.
Next year.
Next year.
Yes.
For sure. You heard it here first.
Yes, absolutely.
Or second.
Right.
Hey, so you have been doing some things. I think we have a quick clip because you just did some stuff with V-Twin Visionary, one of your clients.
Yeah. Jeff Holtz and Dave Rowe and the crew over there, they have a yearly event called the Smoky Mountain Tour. And I attended. It was October 3rd to the 6th. And man, they put on amazing bike shows, a performance bike show, a bring your own bike show. They did a bike giveaway, road glide giveaway, which was amazing.
I think we've got a little clip and a picture of that as well.
Yeah.
Andrew. I think Andrew's still working with Wayne.
I know. I think Andrew's multitasking. Here we go.
He is too. So that looks like a big crowd.
Yes. That's their setup. If you look at the top of the screen, that's the entire V-Twin Visionary setup on the right-hand side. They display all of their products, their sponsors' products at that event. It's pretty cool. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, so the riding out there, holy cow. I mean, Tell the Dragon. I mean, it's all just spectacular.
Did you get to ride?
No, I was working the booth the whole time. And
yeah, of course.
I mean, it was
no rest for the wicked.
Yeah, it was jam-packed. We had great weather. I mean, it was unfortunately after some of the storms that hit. So there were some of those people that couldn't make it, but really considering all the storms out that way, it was really amazing. And we had beautiful weather Thursday to Sunday. The turnout for the bike shows was spectacular. The guy that won the camo road glide lives in Long Island, and one of our guys delivered it, and he had it within like 3 days. And that road glide actually benefits Jeff Holt's prostate cancer treatents.
I'm so sorry to hear that, but so glad that he had great results from it. I think we have a picture of the road glide if Andrew has a second to throw that up. I think I sent him that picture as well.
Yeah, that one in the overview of the crowd. Yeah, it's this guy, he got divorced and he had to sell all of his bikes. And I think he was experiencing some health issues too. And the fact that he just cried when Jeff called him on site to tell him he won the bike, he just bawled.
Wow, that's awesome. Always great to see something like that go for a great cause, or to a great cause, to a great person. We've
Yep.
got an announcement coming up of our giveaway for Disparti bike giveaway. We should be confirmed on it next week. Larry is in and out of town so much. I set up events, and there's the
There
bike.
is.
Awesome.
There's so it was pretty cool. I believe it was Jeff's project bike for an entire year that he built up.
Beautiful.
And it has a lot of our sponsors' products on it. And like I said, the guy was just completely stoked. So that's Tim Howley. He helped with the giveaway, and we had quite the crowd around that while the day that we were announcing the winner. It was pretty cool.
That is fantastic. Look at that. And it looks like a pretty big guy too. So that's a big bike. Got a big guy to ride it.
Yeah, the guy that he was not on site. We had to call him, like I said, but he's a big guy. It's a perfect bike for this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Looks good. We'll have to put up a close shot of that. That looks really good. Hey, we want to say hello to Harry. Harry, thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to Open Road Radio. We're glad that you came by, as well as Melissa. Thanks so much. Laura, thank you for joining us. You guys, give it a like, give it a share, and we appreciate that you're here. I always like when I can rhyme my words.
There you go.
Then I try to remember. Oh, you got to use that one again. Jerry Kane, what are you doing? I thought that you were working out today with your trainer. Jeff Waters, hello. Stephen Larson, thank you for joining us as well. Anton Kerner Diesel is in the house, as well as Lenny. I'm not going to even try to butcher that last name. So let's not even go there. What is your next event? I know that Andrew just sent me a message there. They're still working with Wayne on getting that. If we have to, we can go to plan B. Maybe Wayne could call me and talk about stand up, and we'll do the pictures. So
yeah, you could just do it like over the phone.
Yeah, Andrew mentioned that to him, and give me a what's up in the private chat. You guys, thanks so much for joining us, and give it a like, give it a share, and leave a comment, because we'd love to answer any questions and or suggestions or comments that you might have. So go ahead and pitch in, be a part of the show. We're glad that you've been able to sit in with us tonight. Penny, what is your next event?
Well, let's see. I had vintage bike night a couple Fridays ago, and then we just had the Vegas car and bike swap that was amazing.
Was it? So I saw that, and I like whoever does that flyer. It's a really good flyer.
Yeah, that's Otto from Builtwell, his crew. They do it. It was kind of cold and a little misty, so the car show and the bike show didn't turn out great, but the attendants and the vendors were off the hook. We had well over 40 vendors, and we had close to 400 people show up, and that's a really good turnout for that event. So, and we're trying to help him build on it, and it's working. So, but we got SEMA this week, and then really,
there's a lot of people going to SEMA.
I know
There's a lot of motorcycle people going to SEMA this year. I mean,
Dude.
I think there's always motorcycle people at SEMA, but I've seen a lot of SEMA goers this year.
I got meetings and parties up the yin yang this week. SEMA's always.
We know you're a party girl. Don't act like this is your first rodeo. You do this all the time.
Dude, I'm getting older though. It's like it's a little harder to do all of that. But no, it's pretty cool. Christian Sosa from Sosa Metalworks has an amazing SEMA party on Wednesday night. I get invited to the hamsters dinner, so I go to the hamsters dinner.
Of course you do.
I know. And then I'm gonna go have dinner with one of my clients tomorrow night. And then guess what Tara and I are helping with?
What would that be?
The One Moto show in Vegas.
Oh, very cool.
So we
Yeah.
have meetings with her on
When
Friday.
is that going to be?
One Moto is February 7th and 8th.
Okay.
And it's right downtown where I used to hold, well, not me, but used to help Las
The
Vegas
Las
Bike
Vegas,
Fest
like, yeah.
with Artistry and Iron in the old Western Hotel.
Oh, how
So
cool.
everybody keep your ears and eyes out for that. It's going to be a good one.
Maybe I should come from January to February. I'll just come for the month.
I know, right?
I'm telling you, I'm going to.
Well, my son moved out, so we have an extra bedroom. You just have to get a blow-up mattress.
Perfect. I'm good. I'm all good. I can do that. Hey, I think that we have our first guest online. Seema, I want you to talk more about that in segment 3 so that we can give people where and when. So let's talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
Let's bring on our first guest, chairman at Rolling Thunder, Illinois, Chapter 2, Mr. Wayne Kirkpatrick. They finally just let him out of jail. That's why he's running late. So, Wayne, we're glad that you could make it. The parole.
Thank you. I still have my ankle bracelet.
Of course you don't. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. And know that you're just coming back from a meeting with the Top Cats, another motorcycle organization. Why don't you tell us a quick couple of minutes about the Top Cats?
Interesting group. It's long distance travel and safety based, if you will. We took almost 17 members over to Germany to go, rented bikes and rode the Alps for 10 days. And we do Sturgis every year, a ride called the Front Range Ride that's down through New Mexico, up through Kansas. We do Colorado, Iowa, and then home for about 7 days, cabins, campfires. And the group is supposed to be business focused, but that sort of goes out the window.
Well, that's because you're involved.
People, nothing else matters.
That's because you're involved. Whatever you're involved, there's monkey business going on.
I don't know what you said, but.
Oh, you can't hear us?
No, Andrew had me turn my volume down.
Oh, yeah. There's a slight echo, so there's something that's reverbing just a little bit. Yeah, but you sound good. You look good. Oh, we can't hear you now. Turn it back up.
Okay. Now.
In an interview, we need to hear you. All right. Let's see if that works.
I don't know.
Oh, it does. That works good.
Okay, if you can hear me good, if you want to interview me, hold up a sign that says the question or something.
Wade, tell us what is coming up with Rolling Thunder. You guys rock, and I've got some great pictures that I want to show our listeners because you guys do a great annual stand too. Tell us a little bit about what's going to happen on Saturday.
Yeah, to begin with, I think we need to understand what is a stand to. And in military terms, you've got stand down that the public tends to understand. It's okay, stop doing what you're doing. Stand to is 100% the other way. In combat units, it means all weapons are manned and you're at the highest state of readiness. So when we put on our veterans ceremony, on a Saturday closest to Veterans Day, we called that our stand to. It's the highest readiness that we can create and everything we can do for our veterans to recognize our veterans. We do it at Woodstock Harley-Davidson, Gina, as you know, and we'll have our remembrance table, POWMIA remembrance table. We'll have a guest speaker. We've invited 52 vendors, and of course, not all of them will show up. Now, I say vendors, organizations, VFW, American Legion, Level VA, Heinz VA, state VA people. So the veterans can come in and see things that are veteran related. They can watch our POWMIA table ceremony, and then we give each veteran a pin and thanking him for his service. That'll run from 9 to 4, and it'll include lunch provided by Woodstock Harley-Davidson. And one of the cool things that we hadn't planned for that does happen is you'll see veterans get together and say, "Hey, I see that patch on your shirt. When were you with the 199th Light Infantry?" "Oh, I was there in 68. "Oh, really? I was there in 68.
Wow.
"What unit were you in?" And it's almost like a homecoming.
Yeah.
These folks. It's so cool to see that happen. Then we play all day old Vietnam era music. It's for old people. You wouldn't understand it. Like
You are my favorite.
the Animals version of "We Got to Get Out of This Place." Probably one of the favorite amongst troops in Vietnam.
Yeah.
But we want the veterans to come in, not only be entertained, but be able to have access to veteran type information. And I think they've accepted, I haven't checked the list yet, but the Woodstock High School Computer Lab sets up the kids in that computer lab, usually about 4 or 5 of them with laptops. So as a veteran comes in, they'll ask them, "Are you registered as a veteran to be able to buy things from the post exchange?" "Well, no, I never heard of that." "Well, sit down. Let's register you and help them through that process." The kids love doing that, and of
Yeah.
course, the veterans enjoy being able to have access to some of the prices at the exchange system.
Yeah.
And we have a guest speaker. One of the things that we try to get the word out on is benefits for veterans. Now, why do we have to tell people that aren't veterans that? You may well have a neighbor, a friend, an acquaintance that doesn't know that there's free transportation to their local, from wherever they live to their local VA home. So this speaker that's coming in is a VA representative
Oh,
for
cool.
Illinois to speak to those benefits. And I think it'll be, well, usually it's interesting. We get good comments from it. This year, I think, as I mentioned, lunch was being served by Woodstock Harley-Davidson. I would tell you, though, that Rolling Thunder is serving lunch, too. They're called MREs. And we'll have those available for our veterans.
That's fantastic. You guys always do a stand-up job on this one. I just love it. I love being part of it. It's honorary. It's memorable. It's tributing. It's really heartfelt. It really is.
You know, we feel it's an obligation. There's no way we can pay back veterans. Really, there is no way. So the most, every effort we can do to make them feel that their service didn't go unnoticed, we do.
That's
And
awesome.
a lot of us have been in the field with these guys, been on battlefields with these guys. We have a lot in common. We know what it's like to go days without sleep and food, to be shot at, to have sweat burning your eyes. We know what that's like. And we can sympathize with the little things that only a veteran would understand. Not to be gruesome, but it's a part of veterans, taking your buddy's body and putting it in a body bag. It's
horrible.
It's just a horrible, horrible task.
Yeah.
But that's what we're doing Veterans Day. And a couple other things that may interest you and interest the veterans out there. We're the only chapter out of 90 some that have escorted or participated in the repatriation of 20 MIAs from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. So far, we just did 2 last week that have been missing for 72 and 80 years.
Wow.
And it's just awesome to be able to bring those remains home to their family members.
Yeah, no kidding.
And to see their family members in awe. We never thought anyone would care about them. They've been gone for so long. Well, we care.
Yeah.
Those are our brothers, and we're going to do the best we can to bring them home. We this year alone just brought home 6.
Wow.
So we're proud of that. And then December 14th, there's something that's going to hit the northwest suburbs that hasn't been done before because
Is
it
that
hasn't had
for
the publicity. We're going to make it happen.
Wreaths across America?
Yes.
Is that what you're going to do? I saw that. Tell us about that.
I don't know how you saw it. I haven't put the flyer out yet, but
I saw
you're
it.
always
I
one
have
step
my
ahead
way.
of me.
I do my digging.
We're going to do it at Fort Sheridan, Illinois this year because the other place that's doing it, National Cemeteries, is Abraham Lincoln down in Elwood. So that's about 40, 50 miles from here. We want to give the opportunity to local organizations to be able to put wreaths on headstones a little closer. And that'll be done at Fort Sheridan on the, let's see, 14th of December.
The 14th, yeah.
Yeah, 9:00. And I'll be putting out a flyer to some of the hog chapters, VFWs, American Legions, inviting them to come out and bring your family, bring your kids, explain to them what you're doing. Otherwise, they're darn sure not going to learn it in school.
Yeah. Send me that flyer as well, and I'll make sure that.
Yep, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, we get that posted as well. I'd love to be a part of that, come out and see that.
Good.
Well, and I think you made a really solid point there to educate, this upcoming generation. We need to keep this going.
Penny, let me tell you a real quick story. When we bring these MIAs back, we escort them, the remains, from O'Hare or Midway to the funeral home. It takes a lot of coordination with the police, fire departments, schools, the local cities, and we make lesson plans on who the individual is, and we give it to the schools so they can teach their classes about it.
Oh, wow.
And we coordinate the time we're going by the school. Well, I call this our paycheck. As that hearse goes by, escorted by Rolling Thunder's big flags leading the hearse, and you see those little kids out there with American flags that we gave them, holding their hand over their heart. As that hearse goes by, it gets emotional.
Yeah, I can't.
And you realize, wow, America's still in good hands. That's our paycheck. For doing that.
Wayne, I appreciate all your service. That's really fantastic. And
thank you very
to
much.
teach that generation as well. It's and the ongoing service that you guys do. I can't tell you how that warms my heart, and millions of Americans out there, well, hopefully listening to this, but people all over. Now, as far as Rolling Thunder and the Stand True, is that I know there's chapters all over America, so not just here in Illinois, of course.
Right.
So are they all doing a Stand True? Is that a national as well?
No, they all celebrate Veterans Day different ways.
Okay.
And I think that's smart because the cultures down in, let's say up in Massachusetts, are going to be different from those in Texas in terms of Veteran Day issues. And you may find in Texas, VFW, American Legion, very strong. And those chapters of Rolling Thunder may be supporting those legions down there. Massachusetts might not be doing anything. But we've got over a little under 100 chapters nationwide, and each chapter does something a little different. We've never heard of anyone conducting a stand to like we do, although National Rolling Thunder is now shown an interest in how are you guys doing that? What are you doing? So they can send it out to the other chapters and say, hey, here's something you guys can do over Veterans Day weekend. We're also speaking downtown Chicago. I've got to speak on Thursday at a veteran ceremony, and we'll send them, our national headquarters, a copy of that also saying there's so many opportunities out there to honor our veterans.
Yeah.
You just got to get up off your easy chair and go look for them.
Absolutely. Will you be out of your shackles by then, you think?
I'm sorry, say again.
Will you be out of those shackles by then?
Well, I'm going to have my probation officer bribed. Yes.
Wade, I absolutely adore you. You are one of my favorites ever. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so
talking with
much,
us.
ladies. Thanks for what you do for our community. Thanks for inviting us, and thanks for supporting our efforts.
I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. I haven't missed too many of those in the last, I don't know, 10 years of your 16th annual Stand To on Saturday, November 9th at Woodstock Harley Davidson. We'll catch you there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Hey, we want to say a nice welcome to Eddie Coleman, Pamela Meredith. Crazy Chuck is in the house. Jay Wright. Jay, how's it going, man? So great to see you here. Thanks so much for joining us. As well as Jeff Waters is here also. So, guys, hang tight. We're going to go pay some bills right now with this ad break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Know that finding the right attorney can be hard. They all look the same. I say, look for an attorney who can win. That's what I do. I win. What do I win? Big, that's what. Can I make a 3-rail kick shot? Probably, but I don't want to. No, I win against big insurance companies. Big money for my clients who've been injured in a car accident or hurt on the job. In fact, my law firm has been named one of the most influential law firms in America. But don't just take that good-looking guy's word for it. The proof is in the pudding. Did I mention we'll come to you? I've delivered over $1 billion in wins. That's billion with a B, and that rhymes with C, which stands for copyright infringement. So don't quote me. But you can call me, and when you do, get ready to win.
Products fix problems, Andrews solves them. With nearly 50 years of passion, precision, and high performance, Andrews Products changes the world of motorsports. Engineered and manufactured in-house, Andrews excels by using aircraft steel, then machining to the closest industry tolerances. If you need powerful cams, gears, and transmissions for your ride that are proudly made in America, use Andrews Products. Contact AndrewsProducts.com or call our tech line Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at 847-759-0190.
How can you tell if somebody actually cares? Look at their actions. At Full Throttle Law, we are all about protecting riders. We have sponsored or created over 20 safety-focused events in the past year alone. Track days, riding seminars, emergency response classes, first aid courses, garage nights, and fundraisers for local independent charities. Any law firm can help you get a settlement if you get hurt, but we're already on the road with you, doing everything we can to make sure we all get home safe at the end of the ride. Full Throttle Law. We ride together.
Without the right to repair, us mom and pop shops will be shut down.
Join the MRF and IMA in fighting for your right to repair. Support your local independent motorcycle aftermarket shop while you still have the choice.
Aha. Okay, we're back. I think he was trying to cue up the other one. But let's bring on our guest first, and then we can pause to play a quick little video. Penny, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was daydreaming. Next up, we have Fred Harrell, who is the Motorcycle Riders Foundation Meeting of the Minds Mastermind and all-around good guy. And then we have Mr. Bob Kay, who you see right now, who is with the independent motorcycle aftermarket and motorcycle industry icon. And two of my really good buddies that I love.
Absolutely. I gotta say, it's a full house of favorites right here.
Yes, yes.
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for joining us on Open Road Radio tonight.
Oh, thanks.
Hey,
Yeah.
Wanted to get you guys back together to kind of give us a recap. We've got about 15, 20 minutes. Sorry that we had some problem getting Wayne on initially. But wanted to just go ahead and get into how it went. Fred, go ahead. Start out with the Meeting of the Minds that MRF presents.
I did an article for the American Biker Journal for the MRF, and I was amazed as the opening color presentation and then the national anthem, Pledge Allegiance, and then we opened the event with Born in the USA with Bruce Springsteen. We used 1984 as a theme throughout. And as I am standing there waiting for the final chords to Bruce Springsteen's song, I say, damn, this is going to be big. It was big. Close to 400 people in attendance, 16 workshops, a panel presentation with industry, motorcyclist rights influencers, and the whole event was killer. I mean, I don't believe I had my daughter was there, and I sat with her for 2 meals. That's it over the whole weekend. I mean, we got to sit together. The rest of the time she was working or I was working, and we were just spread pretty thin. So yeah, it was a damn good event.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that. And 1984, well, man, I'll bet that Bob Kay had a full head of hair back then.
Oh, yeah.
And our hair was black.
Yes, curly.
Down my back and my beard was longer.
Yes, it was. Bob, what was your take on the event?
It was truly a special event. For the IMA, you know, we've been working for about 1.5 years on getting everything together, getting our website, getting everything in place. And it seemed to all come to a real nice culmination at this year's Meeting of the Minds. The participants were very welcoming, but beyond that, they really wanted to help and spread the word. They understood how important the survival of independent shops are to our culture, to the whole motorcycle market, and all the challenges that we have before us. I did one of the breakout sessions, and it was standing room only, and questions went on beyond our allotted time, and the panel was fantastic. It was just one incredible weekend.
That's excellent. So who was your audience?
So the audience, you know, basically we have a lot of the MRF members where we have the motorcycle rights organizations and the clubs. And the difference this year was that they really understood this challenge we have for independent dealers. You know, the small business in general is having a real challenge with the current economy. But motorcycle business, because of our regulations from the EPA and from other just general business regulations, is really having a hard time. We've gone probably from 10,000 independent dealers maybe 8 years ago to I think there's maybe 2,400 right now. So that kind of puts everything in the proper perspective. And when you have a bike that's over 10 years old, or you know, some of the laws that the CARB and different European legislations are trying to pass, people understanding that becomes pretty scary. So it's really anybody that builds, anybody that rides, our parts manufacturers. It's really just an integral part of the whole motorcycle industry right now.
Those are staggering statistics. I didn't realize that that was they
Pretty
were so low. That those numbers were so low.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the numbers, hearing so much stuff being a first timer, I took 8 pages of notes. I mean, just to give everybody, I know, just to give everybody an idea, the list of meetings that I personally went to was the first timers meeting, which really educated me, as to what the MRF is all about. I went to the Lobbying 101 seminar, social media, the IMA, of course, and then policy engage overview. And I could have taken even more notes. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I learned so much going in. I had a lot to learn. And it was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing.
Well, I remember going to my first meeting of the minds, and I went to NCOM. I went to ABATE. I went to all the meetings back in the day, where you were on the go all the time.
Yeah, it's cool.
Fred and Bob, do you think that a once a year event is enough? I mean, I know you're branching off into programs and so forth, but is there a way to make the meeting of the minds, and maybe in different parts of the country, maybe
Yeah.
more accessible to people, should I say?
The basis of the meeting of the minds is to build strong state motorcyclist rights organizations, and doing that along with gearing our legislative direction toward Washington, D.C. The second event that we do is Bikers Inside the Beltway in May. And that is a full hard press on members of Congress with appointments. The past 2 years, we've visited all 535 offices with either appointments or leaving our information packet behind. Back to what you questioned, there are 2 other events that are deal specifically on a regional basis that the Motorcycle Riders Foundation helps with, is there to speak at. One is called Heartland Steam. It takes place in the I would say the North Midwest, and then the other one is the Mid-South Mile, which usually takes place in Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, and those are basically pulling regional groups together, regional state motorcyclist rights groups together, and carrying on the workshops or making the workshops more directed toward their regions, and augmenting the attendees that could not necessarily attend the meeting of the minds, but can travel maybe 50 or 100 miles away from home and get the similar workshops. It's just a kind of a 2-day event as opposed to the 3 days the MRF sponsors with the meeting of the minds.
I am familiar with 2 out of the 3 that you mentioned, and like to be able to promote those more to our listeners. Do you think that there's obviously you had a great attendance this past meeting of the minds, and how do you think that we need to keep, Bob, you as well, how can we keep that in motion to keep that attendance up and keep people involved and get more people involved?
So for the IMA, we've been also having some meetings in Daytona and Sturgis, where a lot of the independent dealers and builders do show up. So this year, again in Daytona, we will have a meeting. And in Sturgis next year, ABATE of South Dakota has been kind enough to have a nice little event on Thursday in Whitehead. So we're going to make sure that the IMA shows up there in full force again this year. So that's, that's part of it. Industry wide, this is obviously the MRF has been on target for years. The IMA came out of the MRF after a podcast where they asked me to kind of focus on the needs of the independent dealers because of my aftermarket background. But the whole industry, believe it or not, is just starting to realize the seriousness of this. I've talked to builders, and there's still a belief that they can never do away with internal combustion engines. But you see what's happening with the ability to tune motorcycles and find availability for information and tools, and you start to realize how serious this is. So there is discussions of more people getting together and how do we make something happen and how do we exempt motorcycles from this whole deal. But it's just a huge challenge. So keeping this in front of everybody is real important to make them understand that this is not just some fear that we're kind of fostering out there, but it's the reality of the attack on our culture and the possibility of just the end of what we've all grown up with and supported and believe in, our lifestyle, really.
One of the things that we're looking at is getting to a younger audience. There's riders out there. I was 28 years old when I got involved in this, and the MRF is working diligently for ways. And as a matter of fact, at one of the times that I had the microphone in St. Louis, I put a challenge out to the room to next year you come to Shreveport, bring someone half your age or at least 20 years younger than you are. So we start tapping in to this younger generation, and they start getting politically active to protect the future of motorcycling and their motorcycles, because we're not going to be around forever. The MRF is almost 40 years old, but we need young blood in there doing what we did, and maybe in a better way, more productive way. So we don't leave this behind once we stop riding or once we can't ride.
I like how you invited Lizzie Cunningham and kind of spotlighted her. And I think the reaction of her getting up and talking made an impact. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. To have somebody that was so young and be so passionate already was inspiring to me, to be honest,
Yeah.
And Penny, to have you there and Tara, it really made a big difference having you guys show up. So the more people that come to the meeting of the minds, the more they understand, the issues. And we'll go over the issues again, just because people keep forgetting before the night's over. But and you can attest, Penny, to just what went on in that meeting, the sincerity, the dedication, the involvement of everybody.
Yeah, the passion.
Down to every single of those 400 people are so dedicated and care so much about what they're doing.
And I told Fred it was an honor to be there, seriously, because of the passion all these people had. It really was.
In case audience is wondering, Miss Cunningham was a young activist. It was selected by her state. She grew up in motorcycling. She decided she was tired. I mean, I don't believe, I didn't ask her age, but I think she's about 25 years old. She got tired of riding on the back of her parents' motorcycles and got her own motorcycle, and has been a member of, I think she is from Illinois, or I forget what state she's from, but she's active in her state organization. And I mean, I thought so much of her essay that it was in the program. And we brought her up on stage and introduced her. It's usually young people are a little apprehensive about getting on stage in front of people that are their parents' age and maybe a little older. But I mean, we got her up there, and she speaks articulately, and she's part of the future of promoting and protecting the rights of motorcycles.
It's cool.
Yeah.
You gave her a full page in the program.
I did.
That's awesome.
Hey, we'd like to get your comments. Please leave your comments. Give it a like, give it a share. We want to welcome Terry Hardy as well as Scott Rehack. We know these guys are involved, or I know these guys are involved in motorcycling. So please leave your comments, and we'll read them off during the show as well. We've got a few minutes. I think what we're going to do is probably take this conversation a little past 9 o'clock. So we would encourage our K-Shop 1400 AM and 107.1 FM listeners in Las Vegas, please switch on over to either LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Gina Woods, or Open Road Radio on Facebook, as well as our 1500 AM 92.5 FM in Chicago. So we're going to just go ahead and keep continuing with this conversation as long as Andrew, our producer, doesn't have a problem with that, and let you guys join in as well.
I want to just read this if you don't mind, Gina. Marilyn just made a comment. That's why I was thinking of her. She said, meeting in the mines was inspiring to this long-term industry person. Age is not a factor. It's passion for the topic.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks, Marilyn.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And speaking of, bringing the younger generation, younger riders, motorcyclists in, can you do this, or have you thought of doing this at other shows, big shows, Mama Try, Born Free, so many different shows that are going on, David Mann, different chopper shows, where there might be a younger crowd, although everybody's riding choppers these days.
Again?
Again. Yeah, right.
Still.
You have your first one, don't you?
I never die.
That's right.
We have a group of MRF members who are MRF reps, and they're from around the country. They make a point to see the events that are in their state, and based on a schedule of events, they attend these events, have booths set up, and basically work the crowd. So it's not like we're ignoring the events. It just, you get we can't just move in en masse. I remember back in the day with one of our board members was an attorney from Pennsylvania, and as fate would have it, he had about 5,000 calendars that were misprinted, and they were bike calendars as big as your good size. And we went to I believe the Columbus or the Cincinnati show. This was a big one in the late 80s, early 90s, and we were giving these calendars, which normally retail for about $25. We were giving those away with each MRF membership. And he says he'd put a sticker over his address, just had his name and phone number. And he says, they have given me the new ones. So it was an enticement back then. We'll probably never be that fortunate again. But yeah, we do. We're out there with the information, with what's going on in Washington. And I mean, that's where our whole focal point is Washington, D.C. and bikers inside the Beltway, and moving our legislative agenda into a passing state.
Well, that's a great segue, Fred, into I got to spend time at the legislative strategy session this year. And while I've met Rocky in the past, Rocky is our lobbyist, I got to really spend some time there and have some input into the legislation of what we want to do for the right to repair. And Rocky contacted me after the meeting, and we've really honed that in to include the right to modify, this availability of information and tools, and also having the ability for manufacturers to make alternative parts when they're no longer available. So again, this whole structure you've created with the meeting of the minds is just tremendous in the way that it works. So that was a big deal to me. I can actually tell people that I was involved in the structure of the legislative process and the bills that we're going to put forward for the IMA and the independent dealers. And
Cool.
for you independent dealers that are out there, get a hold of me. You know, there's everybody knows there's a ton of ways to contact me. Let me know if there's anything on your mind or things that you're dealing with that we may not have addressed, because we are able to go right to the lobbyists, talk about how to address that, how to present it in Washington, and we really can make a difference in your lifestyle and your business.
The legislation or the legislative agenda is established by the attendees at the meeting of the minds who go to the legislative session. And it's I would say for an hour and a half, it's pretty intense as we pare down the things that kind of a wish list and get down to a must-have, think we need, and we'll watch this later. I mean, that breaks it down pretty much the way it's done. But when we get back, that gets summarized. It'll be published in this month's American Biker Journal coming out here. I think the print edition hits the street here pretty quickly. But you can also get it if you go online to mrf.org, and it gives us basically a platform on how we see our members of Congress when we go to the Bikers Inside the Beltway, and also when individuals see their members of Congress at home. I mean, they're probably pretty busy here this last minute, but after the election, they'll be gearing up to go to DC, and we go to DC in May, and it's a blitz. I mean, it's a full hard press that we're there. We have a board meeting, and then one day we spend on Capitol Hill, and it's one meeting after another. You get a break sort of for lunch, but we break up into teams, and it's take care of business.
I want to put a shout out there to Charles Kitchen, aka Crazy Chuck, Moonshiner. Says CBA in the Carolinas haven't been as strong in the past 10 years. We need protection of our rights. So we would say to Moonshiner Chuck, get in touch with the MRF. Correct, Fred?
Yes, by all means. And as a matter of fact, there were individuals that I know from North Carolina that were at the meeting of the minds this year. Charlie Boone is a long-term friend that goes back into the 80s. I mean, he's still involved, but I don't believe he's involved in the daily workings of the CBA in North Carolina, but I know he's involved. And there's been quite a few people from North Carolina that attend Meeting of the Minds and Bikers Inside the Beltway.
Excellent. I just sent him a note back for Charlie Boone.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to just make sure you made clear, that it was Bikers in the Beltway that you were referring to in May, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Everything we do at the Meeting of the Minds and at Heartland Steam or at Mid-South Mile is geared toward our activity in Washington, D.C. for Bikers Inside the Beltway.
Okay.
I mean, it's a natural culmination of moving our legislative agenda forward.
Gentlemen, we appreciate your service work. It's not only needed, but it's in desperate needs. And Bob, you said people know how to get a hold of you, but why don't you mention how people can get a hold of you for IMA issues?
So we do have the IMA website is up and active. If you want to join, it's imamembers.org. It's very easy to join. That lists all the legislative issues. It lists the updates, so our agenda is on there. We have some of the different videos that have been produced by members for us, as well as some of the articles from the American Bikers Journal. Always, Bob K at abikersgarage.com. Feel free to email me anytime. We'll get back to that. If you want to get involved, I can get you into we have a private Facebook page where you can actually discuss some issues. There's a new ad that Fred produced for the meeting of the minds that is going to be in Cycle Source real soon. So we need numbers of people. Politicians pay attention to the numbers. So we need your support. We have some of the best lobbyists available to us. That whole effort is not cheap. The entire MRF IMA thing is a voluntary action on our part to support everything the life that we love so much. So anybody that can take the time to spend $100 to join the IMA, we'd appreciate it, because it goes right to the legislation and the lobbyists to protect our future.
Yeah.
If you know a shop in your area that you work for, you patronize, tell them about the IMA. Tell them that their motorcycle, their lifestyle, and the future of motorcycling is under siege. It's not going to go away. The right to repair is essential to the life of these aftermarket shops. It is, and maybe the future of motorcycling. If the aftermarket goes away, who's going to work on your motorcycle if you can't get parts, technology, or all of the stuff you need to do it yourself, or have your local aftermarket shop do it?
Not only needed, but it's detrimental to our culture.
And tell people how they can join the MRF.
Go to mrf.org. There is you can join now, or I think we have a website. It has a join link on there at mrf.org. And if mrf.org should work, but Motorcycle Riders Foundation will work for sure. And it tells you there'll be more about the meeting of the minds. There'll be information about bikers inside the Beltway, and certainly a membership application. And it's how's this? $35 a year is about 10 cents a day. Is that right?
And cheaper than a Harley T-shirt.
It is. It's cheaper than a night out in the bar.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, let's get everybody to Meeting of the Minds next year, as well as some of the other programs available. But in Louisiana, we could have a
Yes, it is. I'm working on
good
Louisiana now, and I mean it was a long time coming, but the group down there, Abate of Louisiana, has been stellar and patient, and we're going to Shreveport in September. You've got the dates there, September 25 through the 28th. Shreveport, Louisiana cuisine, Louisiana music, and it will be it will be a different version of the Meeting of the Minds. This was not only a celebration of our 40th anniversary, but a moving forward toward our 50th. And this will be the 41st anniversary in Shreveport. And it's the first time we've been in Louisiana. So we're looking forward to it. And that's in September 25th through 28th of 2025. And along with Bikers in the Beltway coming up in May. If you've never been to DC, plan on coming. I mean, if you haven't been there, I spent last year with the group from Tennessee before I even saw the delegation from Nevada. We went with them, so they felt comfortable meeting first time with their members of Congress. And after a couple of meetings, we cut them loose. They were on their own. They knew what they were doing. I mean, and it was pleasing to watch them, just fly. And then it's amazing just how welcome we are when we get to DC. I mean, I've heard from more than one member of Congress, the bikers are coming this week. You damn right the bikers are coming this week. And we were welcome in every office we went in.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go to that for years. A bait was going to send me, our Chicago bait was going to send me back about 3 or 4 years ago, and wasn't able to. But that's something I've always wanted, so I'm on board for that. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for the extended show this evening and you joining us very spontaneously. Appreciate your coming on and talking about it. Bob, send me all the information that you've got. We want to constantly promote. How can people help more? What can they do?
So first off, I want to say that everybody's welcome to the meeting of the minds. It's that you don't have to be a representative. You don't have to be an independent dealer. Everybody and anybody is welcome there. And it is a worthwhile experience to just, if you ride motorcycles, you will be amazed at what you'll learn at the meeting of the minds. Secondly, the IMA, the basic things you need to understand that are a serious threat that we're trying to protect right now is your right to repair and modify your motorcycles, the right to have the choice of internal combustion engines as your power plant of choice, the ability to have the proper fuels. There's rules now for like E25 or who knows how bad they're going to make the fuels, but anybody that rides know the fuels are so terrible compared to what they've been in the past. End of life things, people go, oh, they'll never do that. In Europe, it's there now. I worry about people. We've been able to build custom motorcycles from custom frames. Already in Europe, there are countries where you cannot build from a custom frame. You have to buy a bike that is previously titled and then build from that. These are all threats that are on us, that the MRF does the best job. They have the best ground game of all the motorcycle organizations. So please, the basic thing is join the IMA at imamembers.org. Help support that part of the business that keeps our lifestyle going. And then share it with your friends. Get your friends to join. Yes, it's about businesses, but individuals can join if you so desire. So,
or join the MRF. We're the base organization. Work very well and very closely with the IMA. Just as a clarification, End of Life Directive is a decision that the European community is making on how to get old motorcycles off the road. They're working. It's either going to be age, it's going to be miles, it's going to be repairability. Keep that in mind, repairability. If you can't get the parts, it becomes less chance to repair. That's where the right to repair legislation in this country is paramount to protecting motorcycling and the future of motorcycling and what these guys have invested, some of them their whole life doing. It could go away in a heartbeat if we're not paying attention here.
Yeah, Fred, that's something that, and being a part of 3 different AMCA chapters that we have discussed and talked about in our chapter meetings, simply because you ride vintage bikes and they may not be around.
They may be in museums or hanging on the wall in a bar in Sturgis, but they won't be on the road if we don't stand our ground and push this right to repair and push the entire legislative agenda of the Motorcycle Riders Foundation.
Modification this year to our right to repair, the availability of parts that can come from alternative sources. So you're right on the money, Fred.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. And to our listeners.
Thanks for having us again.
Absolutely, you guys. I if we can do this once a month just to tell people, how important this is. They don't realize, it's not about running to your local shop or your dealership and buying a motorcycle and then that's it. It's, it's heyday and let's go ride and have fun or join be a part of a tour. There are these reasons behind these types of programs out there, meetings and the MRF and the IMA and the MIC and everything else. There's reasons behind these, and people got to stand up. A bait, just I've been trying to tell people about bait.
You probably have a bait chapter in your state. Reach out to them. They welcome new people, and
there's things going on.
I want to know about it.
Yep, there's things going on out there that you need to be aware of, and everybody vote tomorrow. Vote tomorrow if you haven't already.
Make the right vote.
All right, guys. Fantastic. Really appreciate it. What an informative show.
Thank you both.
If you missed it or you're just joining us, you can always listen back to Open Road Radio on your LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook pages. Check this out because it's an important information that we're giving you, we're providing tonight.
And share it. People need to hear this. Even if we cut this part out and share it, it just needs to be heard.
Yep. Share it all around and come back and visit it and get involved. We'll see you at the next meeting. Guys, thanks so much. Everybody have a great evening.
Thank you. Good evening.
Open Road Radio. Bye-bye.
Take care.
You're tuning in to America's premier motorcycle talk show, Open Road